of us, so that's when I usually drive my older car, and that enables me to live stream. So here we are. This is snow that was not supposed to come in until the late afternoon, early afternoon, but here we are before 7 a.m. We've got fresh powder, if you will. So we're going to take a look at the roads here in Kansas City and see if they've been impacted at all by the fresh powder. The disappointing part for us is, it has not been very warm yesterday, which means our pavement temperatures are not going to be very helpful. The good news is, as you can tell from the texture, it is powdery, which means it's not slushing, it's not sticking. That's a good sign. I had to decide which roads to take today. I think that the jurisdiction I'm driving through happens to take better care of roads than some, so I'm choosing to drive this way. Weather will typically slow down traffic a little bit, but you really consider this a weather condition. You got schools canceled a few places, not in this exact area. You were crossing a bridge and coasted across that bridge. Right, I try to use no pedals on bridges. That's my rule. Coming across a bridge, take off the gas. That way, there's no power coming to the drivetrain or deceleration coming to the drivetrain. Braking, I should say, because if there is, you might slide away. I treated this car as sort of the best choice because it has Jeep tires, but these Jeep tires are 5 years old. They still have plenty of tread. Now, here we are downhill to a green light. I really don't think I should stop here, so I'm going to try to make it through. Thankfully, it's not turning. And, that was another consideration I should have had was the difficulty of stoplights. Weather like this. Trying to stop for a red light can be a cause of accidents. There's no cars in front of you, you've got a better chance. You do have to go through an intersection, either strategically or because you can't stop. My strategy is to use the horn. I hold the horn down for the entirety of the time that I drive through the intersection from the moment I know I'm going through. That's just to give a warning to anybody who thought they'd be smart trying to flip a red light, right turn, or uh, maybe, well, what you can't do is prevent yourself from hitting one of the other people who have the same idea that you do. Crash by, strategically going through the red light to avoid an accident. So the powder's still floating across the surface of the pavement, which is a good sign. We're catching green lights, which is a good sign. Too early for the school zone, which is another good sign. So there we are. Decent time. It's really kind of like any other day. Difference is everybody has. Oh wow. Okay, so I just drove by a side street, a low traffic side street, and it's solid white. Sidewalks are solid white. Does that mean it's getting more snow? No. We're just driving across the snow here and disturbing it. If somebody did that to the sidewalk, you could do the same thing. For those of you just joining, we're in Kansas City, Overland Park, Kansas to be specific. We have a long drive today. We have bad weather, so just kind of documenting the conditions, so in case we find something wild. people get kind of ignorant on days like this. So lane changes also very dangerous in snow because there's more snow embanked on the center line than in the travel lane, but we had no issue. Some cars will have issues because they weren't really built for this. If you think about your standard rental car, it's really not something you want to have in the snow. SUVs, trucks, they're kind of good for snow in a lot of ways. Station wagon, Subaru type of things, all-wheel drive, outdoor nature vehicles, gonna be okay. In conditions like this, until you come across those cars who are not as prepared for the weather as you. And those cars will be stopped in the roadway, stranded in the intersection, not moving, causing everybody else to go around. So reaction time, driving seconds ahead, those kinds of things are the strategies you really want to be using on today's days like today. The question is did one of you got the lowest common denominator problem in traffic like this and weather like this, the least prepared person, the least talented driver, that's going to be the person who screws up conditions for everybody. They're going to block a roadway or block a travel lane, and that will put everybody in a dangerous scenario because you're having vehicle interactions in bad weather, and that will lead to crashes. That will lead to busted fenders. That will lead to traffic jams. That will lead to you being late to work. So, okay, bridge, taking off the throttle, coast across. Nicely, we can see ahead, plenty of seconds. We've got good visibility, in my opinion, for weather like this. I think the drive back this afternoon will not be so lucky. The last forecast I saw said we will get about 12 hours of precipitation, which means starting 6 a.m., ending 6 p.m. Subject to change, but it's not going to be a pleasant day for drivers in Kansas City. So that's my announcement for those of you wondering. All right. Now, you can't really see it coming down, but it is coming down. And it's coming down 7 hours before they told us it would, or whatever, 6 hours, 5 hours, whatever it is. We weren't supposed to have a flake before 1 p.m., but here we are. So I chose to drive through the city today, hoping that the higher traffic levels and better maintenance of the roads might give us a slightly better protection. There might be a salt cover. I doubt it, simply because this is all unexpected. We all expected a clean, easy drive to work this morning, and we're not necessarily getting that. So, as I said, I switched cars to this car, which enabled me to post a video. I typically drive this car in snow. I actually drifted off into a pile of snow in this car last winter because stuff happens. And of course, I was not filming that day, and that's what you get for taking a day off. So we are about a mile from Interstate 435. We're going to turn on Interstate 435. I have precipitation sticking to the windshield, so we're going to switch to defrost. These wipers are new, so it's not the wiper's fault, but it is getting problematic. It's not wiping off because it's freezing to the glass, and that's not what we want. So we're going to try to wash it, and that did the trick for the most part. When you see the sticky lines, that means that it's not melting, it's not scraping, it's just sticking because it's 24 degrees. But it's a different 24 degrees. It's been cold for the last couple of days, and now it's 24 degrees. That's why we have snow accumulation. That's why we have uh, roadways that have uh, snow drifts on them that did not melt away. In better, luckier situations, the roadway would be totally clear, but it's not, which is another signal that we are in for Some issues today. When will this turn to ice? Will this turn to ice? I don't know. So that's what we need to look for as we're traveling this morning is the conversion to black ice. I think one of the warnings will be a road that is completely black, because at that point, that's bad. You see how the snow is drifting and dancing. I'm going through this light. See what I'm talking about? Strategic, if you will. So the president used to say, sometimes you just got to run a red for your own safety. And I have no qualms documenting that. It was really a yellow anyways. Yeah, there's a really nice holiday light feature here. It's not very well seen on the camera, unfortunately. Yeah, this is not a good view. I'm trying to watch that again. It's a little sloppy, a little blurry. So the question is when will we see our first disabled car? It will likely be for mechanical reasons. I was made concerned driving this one. It's probably the least mechanically sound, least new. Oh my God. Oh boy, we are drifting, folks. We are drifting on that ramp. I was totally out of control. I took off the brake. I took off the gas, and I just slid like a gosh darn hockey puck on that ramp. It's because I was turning, and it's because ramps freeze first. Um, oh boy. So that's what we have in store for us this morning. It's going to be a pain. There's going to be another ramp or two to go over. Um, let's cross our fingers and say our prayers and hope that nothing happens here. So that's what we're in for today, folks. It'll be a little bit dicey. We've got cars going at full speed, which is positive. Got a comment down there. Watch out for black ice. Thank you. You've got to watch out because I just slid all over the exit ramp. Did not have any control over the truck. And that's not what I wanted to see for today. It's not a good thing. Watch road conditions. Well, it's better to be warning me than notifying me of a stranded vehicle. So that's a good thing for that side. The white stripes on the center line are smaller here, which so what that tells us, I am going to have to merge over the thick white. Let's hope for the best. Signal on. Okay, I felt a little bit of slush on the tires doing that, which not a huge deal, but that's what that is. Okay, I'm going 65, not being passed, but you are going to find people who kind of just go slower on days like this. We're crossing a bridge, not randomly accelerate for that brake. Yeah, that exit was no bueno, especially when cars also turn onto that from the other direction. They could have crashed into me. I could have crashed into them. Thankfully, there was nobody there. I did not check which road is the best to take to work. Take 435 to 70. That has issues. Want to take the other. But okay, this is a big bridge. It looks a little shiny, especially on that right lane with less traffic. We're good. Made it across. Still have snow dancing on the lane in this lane, which tells you it's a decent lane. A little bit of visibility changes. Say, I would say notable visibility changes here. So this tells me we're driving kind of into the storm a little bit, which is not ideal. They say hello down there. Thank you. I'm really not trying to look at the comments and things because hey, he's on the road today, right? But sometimes you see things that are too good to not capture on camera. So that's why we turn it on days like today. All right, so visibility's poor, but look ahead. You can see the wall of cars in the oncoming side, but you can see absolutely nothing on the travel side, which is fascinating because obviously the headlamps can travel through the weather, but the taillights cannot. That's something to think about. So as I get a little bit closer, I can see the taillights, but it's nothing. Emergency vehicles, 435 northbound at 39th Street. Emergency vehicles, 435 northbound. Crash, 71 northbound. Emergency vehicles, 435 northbound. 39th. I think if I get on 435 here, I don't think I'm going to pass 39th Street, but in an abundance of caution, I'm going to opt for 470. Obviously, there have been a lot of crashes already. We're going to get to it before the weather folks do here, folks. So here you are. If you're interested in Kansas City road conditions, I'm your guide. We got it. We are driving from Overland Park to Great Valley, so it's going to be a ride. We're going to see a lot of highway, a lot of I-70, specifically the Summit to Great Valley, Blue Springs area. We're going to cover all that. God willing, that we make it. So, for those of you just joining, this is a commute through Kansas City in snowy conditions. It really wasn't supposed to snow until the afternoon, so I was anticipating just kind of cruising on a podcast, listening to podcasts this morning. But we opened the garage door, and there we are. It's already coming down, and this was not expected. So, kind of took me by surprise. I might have, I don't know, made a hot beverage to go with me or something if I know. But we're doing okay, other than one slide on an exit ramp where we lost control. No consequences. So we're going to take for 70 simply because that was the one road not listed on the sign for crash delays or stoppages. That doesn't mean it will be or won't be because we've got 15 more miles of this and we're going 55. So that's a good 20, 25 minutes. Something bad to happen. Now we're on an elevated ramp, another dangerous situation. I see a sheen on the road, which is not good. And we've got lots of slowages and brake lights up ahead. So we're going to slow down to 40 and hope that people pick up the speed because this is going to be a long drive. If I'm going 45. Excuse me. Okay, we're on another race bridge. Another just really risky time and place to be turning your wheel. But it's not a turn, it's just a gentle curve designed and engineered this way. Can't say that about the exit ramp we were sliding on earlier, but say it about this bridge. And pretty soon we're coming up on the solid ground. Thank goodness. You'll see the speed of traffic is increasing. We're up to 55. Honestly, this is probably a little less traffic than on a clear day, which is a good thing. We scared away some people. The weather gets up at 4 a.m. and tries to tell everybody to stay off the roads. And I think they succeeded by, I don't know, 3 to 5% of people, maybe less than normal here on this road. I did see this car in front of me has a solid ice back window with a couple lines from their rear defroster. That's not what you want to do, folks. You want to scratch scrape that ice off your windows, all of them. If you're parked outside, I was not, so I didn't have that issue today. Um, but you will get a ticket for that if you are driving with another bridge. Okay, there. Folks are saying hi, hello to you. Not paying a ton of attention to the comments because, no, we got to keep our eyes on the road today. My class is not looking very handsome, but I do have a wiper running across it, and so far that's doing a decent job. The area around the wiper is covered, but will live. Knock on wood green. So we're up to 60 miles an hour. This is 470 northbound outside Kansas City. Not to be confused with the 470 in Wichita, Kansas. So far, okay, we've got lots of warnings up here. I'm going to try to read them as quickly as I can understand them. Watch road conditions, use caution. 4 minutes. Okay, guys, we chose wisely. Okay, the sign said crash 435, crash 71. He did not say crash 470, and this so far we have no crash. And another consideration that really should have factored was High Patrol has a big station here on 470 to assist motorists, which means that if there is a crash, you've got a state trooper out there within very quickly minutes. And they are helping to clear the road. They're helping to get you off the road so the traffic can get resumed again. That means if you're the person in the accident, you get help faster. It also means that if you're the people driving around the accident, you wait less time. So when you're choosing between 435 and 470, that's one thing to factor is that 470 has much better support from the state law enforcement, just because of that station being right off the road, and they also have a motorist assist track, and you just kind of cover that way. Now, I actually had a crash on this road. I don't know, 2016, and I'm telling you, those police showed up before I could even figure out what happened. It was lovely. That was about exit 11. We talk about a lot on this series. My crash off of Strother Road. I hate that area. I think it's super dangerous, and it's always causing issues. All right, so again, we got another visibility moment. You can see a wall of headlights, but no wall of taillights because our visibility is really getting limited. And the headlamps are designed to be broadcast forward a significant direction. Taillights are not. That's why we see one and not the other. Um, but hey, we're going 55. And you know what? I want to stop coming down. We might have had a break. Despite the lack of visibility, I think the precipitation would have stopped. Positive. Okay, I just saw a fire truck blazing that way. I hope it doesn't go my direction because if it comes this direction, it means there's a. Okay, I see it in the rearview mirror. It's under a bridge back there. So these side roads are going to be the, the end of us all. So here in about, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, I'm going to be turning off the highway. And that will be the moment of truth. We've got to go down a downhill ramp, which will not be fun. We'll have to stop at red light 90% of the time, which will not be fun. And then we'll turn right 1, 2, 3 times, 3 different roads, actually 4 times. Think about it. So that'll be a thing. It happens here locally. So if you're interested in what happens in Kansas City, this will give you a hint. So we are in probably Lee Summit, Missouri, Baytown, Kansas City, something like it. But hey, I think they're clearing up a little bit for the time being. If I look at the oncoming lanes, you see a lot of dust in front of the headlights. And that is pretty much the disturbance of the snow. We're thankful it's not a sticky snow. It's not doing what it could have done. I mean, it's just blasting in the air like, okay, here's our first crash. I think you just got a view of it. Two cars pulled over. They did not look like they hit. Okay, lots of sirens on this bridge up here. You can't see them well because they're obscured, but they are. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. They weren't on the bridge, folks. They're on the road. They're on the road. They're, are they on my side? I think they're on my side. They're on the other side. They're on the other side. Oh, bless us all. Got a car hauler. They're moving. We got tow trucks. And we got East Summit Fire. Oh my gosh. The car was facing the bridge. The car was turned around facing the bridge. I don't know how that happens, but it wasn't going to be pretty. So this is what can happen. Look how many cars are in that. This is a busy road, guys. We're losing control. What caused you to lose control? Bad choices as a driver, bad maneuvers, bad tires, and bad luck. Okay, that's what's going to get you, like those cars back there. That's what's going to get the sirens out to say hi. And let me tell you, look how fast they had assistance to that site. Because we're on 470, we got a ton of support off this road. And I really didn't think about it earlier. We're deciding to take this road, but it's really a big factor to think of it. So one side of the interstate's already blocked by a crash. How much longer before this side is blocked? I don't know. But as I said before, the precip is stopped. Car is warm. It's 24 degrees. I mean, it could be worse, It could be worse. So here we are, Troop A headquarters and state patrol is an exit 9. It's kind of equidistant from everything. There's going to be a ton of, what does that mean? It means there's going to be a fuel station. There's going to be, salt truck storage. There's going to be emergency services. There's going to be a lot of things around that station, and they are coming in handy today. So there's a ramp, looking really snowy, but it's uphill. I love uphill ramps more than downhill ramps. I don't have a good reason for that because they're both dangerous. We got the salt trucks coming on this side. Not salt trucks, plow trucks. Okay. So we slowed down to about 30 miles an hour. I did not want to drive aggressively. I didn't know how fast folks were coming around. I would like to get my speed back up, but it's a little bit dicey. I got a car around me here. Go ahead and I'm going to need to exit at 17. That's a good 8 miles away. So we're going to have people, getting on the highway. It happens. You don't want to slow down for them. Get in the fast lane. But just be prepared because there's two people in the fast lane, the people driving too slow and the people driving too fast. And you makes three types of people in the fast lane. So doing okay. So the other thing to watch for are people darting over in front of you because of the incoming traffic, urgent traffic. Don't want that to happen. You got to be ready to stop. Also, the left lane has less traffic in it, which means that the melt factor is going to be lower. Usually got a little more powder built up in the left lanes and in the merging on lanes. You'll see it's almost a solid white, perhaps ice sheet over there in the far right, where nobody's really driving. And here we are, the famous Strother Road, accident central. course, going the other direction, this direction, but here we are at 7:15. People are. This is the height of like the going to work, doing your thing. A lot of hardworking people over here in these communities, and they are not going to stay home. So you're making it past the road. I'll take a guess. I get lots of food, water. If something were to happen, we're going to be okay. I did wish I maybe got a hot drink, but that's on me. Got over, kind of regret it because I see the cars merging on and the large semi. Gonna have to probably slow down for this guy. Get back over. Just do it. So for those of you just joining, we're outside Kansas City on I-470, and we are trying to get to work. We've seen lots of crashes so far, lots of sirens and emergency vehicles, and just hoping we're not going to be one of them. Precipitation did seem to stop, but the aerial dusting is thick. Visibility is impacted. Oh, wow, it is. It really is. You can see headlights way off in the distance, super faint. See nothing on your side of the road, so you're just kind of driving into the mist, hoping for the best. I mean, not that bad. I got a good quarter mile, maybe eighth of a mile. It's enough to see that traffic's moving. There are no brake lights. People are a little bit more cautious. So, it is, you haven't turned the wipers on for a good few minutes, which is a good sign. You have buildup on the rear glass, but that's just the kick up from the road. And it's water. And I have the wiper on. I guess that helps. All right, so here's the emergency sign. It is not illuminated. It is not giving us any news, probably because it's out of power or something. That's too bad. At least if it said watch for road conditions, we have the sense that there are no crashes up ahead, but we're not going to get those assurances today. Going to get on 470 in a couple minutes. That will be the real moment of truth. Is what will it look like getting further out of town? I don't know. But we will see. We will find out. It's 23 degrees, which means it's actually gotten colder. See that every day as the sun comes up. But yeah, these are the kinds of conditions that create problematic events. No doubt about it. Yeah. So for those of you just joining, we're outside Kansas City. This is 470. It's actually a pretty urban area. But today it's so dark, snowy that you can't really tell where we are. So we've seen a lot of things from slide outs. We actually did slide out ourselves. We saw crashes. It's going to be interesting in the next couple of minutes when we get on I-70 eastbound. We'll be in the burbs. We will be experiencing all that this winter has to offer. Think about it, just about 30 days ago, I was going down a water slide with my shirt off in this region. Here we are 30 days later, covered in snow. Okay, it was maybe 35 days, but still, yeah, pretty good. All right, so this road is looking actually pretty clear. That could mean one of two things. Either the powder is frozen to the road and created ice, or it's just all kind of blown away except what's in the crevices. Hard to tell what that means. Going across the bridge, this guy's hurt. We're changing lanes, so obviously Not too bad. We got the dancing snow is a good sign to me. Now, the moment of truth, the I-470 merge. This is a difficult ramp. Okay, lots of brake lights. That's got people merging on. Oh, we need to merge over. Oh, there's a car facing me. What's up, buddy? You're not supposed to be there. In the daggum cable barrier. All right, that'll wake you up. Okay, well, we just saw a car in the cable barrier, but again, what did I say this morning? Your typical rental car is the one that's going to give you angst. Toyota Corolla. The basic, off the shelf rental cars are the ones that you're going to see spun out because they're just not designed for this kind of weather. All right, this ramp looks bad, y'all. I don't want to hit the gas, but I don't want to cause. I mean, wow, this could very well be ice that we're traveling on right now. The trick is to not accelerate, to accelerate tenderly. I mean, this is just one ugly, ugly ramp, y'all. We just saw a car spun out facing us in the highway. Those of you just joining, we're in Kansas City area, I-70 East. We are past the ballparks, I believe, headed just past the ballparks. Meeting America. Okay, time to merge. We got an exit only lane. That's a lane. It looks like a shoulder, but that's a travel lane. People are driving a little too slow for my comfort level. I need to get out of this lane now. Cars are flying around. Okay. Well, guys, this is a little bit more the real deal. This is a dusty. Okay, that's a bridge. You let off the gas on the bridges. This is getting worse, I think. Going this direction a little bit. But only good news I have is that I'm about 10 minutes from my destination. It'll be a few minutes late to work, but that's the life, I suppose, in conditions like this. When I was a young man, I'd get up extra early to make sure that I was at work on time, by gosh. And I was going to do whatever it took to factor in traffic and everything else. Okay, more sirens over here. Fire truck. That's probably just a health event at a nursing facility or skilled assisted living. So that's not a traffic related siren. Another bridge. We're going about 59 miles an hour right now. The biggest problem we have is the left lane dusting up on. There was last week a big construction zone up here that is really not going to be fun to drive through. Here's a sign, road work 3 miles ahead. So they're obviously still doing it. All right, here's our first warning sign in a while. What are they going to say? I can see the message. It's not good. It says, watch road conditions, use caution. It's really the best thing you can read because it's not telling you about a crash ahead. That's a good sign. The oncoming looks pretty slow, but they're going into town. That's usually H Highway 9 miles ahead. I have no idea what H Highway is. 9 minutes ahead, I guess. So yeah, not sure what that means, but we are now exiting. Yeah, the oncoming is moving. We're going 60 now. Probably push it to 65, but I know they're going to lower it to 55 work soon, so no reason to force any vehicle interactions. Yeah, a lot of people on the move today. Yeah, likely main closures. Uh, well, we've just about made it to the end. We're in our minute 41 of the drive. It's a pretty empty drive. A little bit stressful, but it's not counting chickens because what have we not done? We have not successfully navigated the side streets to our destination. That's going to, you know, frankly, this is where I crashed last year, was on the side street. I was being a dummy, decided to go to McDonald's, but said I could have just gone to the office. And I took a turn I don't normally take and slid into a snowdrift in the middle of town. We are talking right in the middle of town. I mean, very high traffic. Still couldn't control the conditions. So that's what can happen in these situations. So now we're going to add a road work zone to the mix. Not a welcome addition. I don't really like the cut of this car's jib. I'm going around him. I think it's going a little too slow for my taste. But if I had a car like that, maybe I'd be a little more slow too. Okay, plow truck, not elevation. We're going down the full. Okay, disabled vehicle, gonna go around. Curious why they're pulled over. Okay, that car's been abandoned. They left their flashers on and they've got a sticker. So whatever that was, I don't know if it was weather related. Okay. But it did sort of fit the stereotype of the car cars we see. For those of you asking what time it is about 7:30 in the morning here in outside Kansas City, Central Time Zone, United States. We are doing our morning drive to work. A lot of schools have been canceled here, but the show must go on for the rest of us, right? So I like to film these drives just to kind of document what there may be to document. We've seen some crashes. We've seen some things this morning. We slid out ourselves on a ramp. Let's hope that we get through this next ramp safely. 3 more miles and we'll be putting our money where our mouth is. Oh, so that was a little scary to see a car pulled off because the shoulders are limited through here. And you don't want to be driving around that car when the door flies open and hit the door or something, or the arm of the person pushing the door. So we're kind of, you know what, we're at full cruise speed for this road zone. 55, 55, a little bit over. Visibility is maybe marginally improved from earlier today. Temperatures are back up to 24, so we're gonna dip. Now we're way up. Sign, we've not seen sirens in a minute. I'm getting passed by a semi truck. For real. I'm going 5 over 10 roads. 10 roads trucking. I'm calling you out, bro. This is a work zone, man. Yeah. EGL 1049 624 1469 license plate. Driving like a fool. Okay. What's up, man? Why do you need to go 70 in a work zone of 50 to 55? I mean, I know why, but that's not cool. That's not cool. We don't need people driving aggressively in heavy trucks. We just don't need it. Anyways, that's really not as aggressive as some, you know. So these trucks have governors, probably 63, 65. No, I don't think they don't have a governor because I was going 60 already. It passed me, he must have been going 70. Unnecessary. Well, anyways, folks, we are going to exit in about a half a mile, and it's going to be the moment of truth. Martin Transport Services, Grand Rapids, 5787120 license plate. Martin Transport, you're going way too darn fast in a work zone. I'm gonna tell people that, okay? Come on, man. It's a work zone and it's snowing. Do we really need okay? Time to exit. All right. I can't really downshift. Actually, I can downshift. I'm not going to. These cars are going too darn slow. I'm gonna hit them just because they're going too darn slow. All right. So far, braking without much issue. Question is, do I strategically use the inner lane for better traction, but risk having to get over? Okay, we got a green light here. I intend on passing through this green. Oh my God, I got no control on this car. Oh my gosh, I did not like that. I did not like that at all. Another green. Good fortune. 15 miles an hour, please. I'm drifting. Okay, made it. We're almost where we need to be. This road is a lot different than the highway. Solid white. Some more solid than others. I'm in a turn only lane, so I don't really care how fast I'm going. And we've done it, folks. Just about 2 more turns and we are done. $25. Make that. Funny, hey, I'm the snow pig back up. What do you know? I get to where I need to be, and oh boy, fishtail. Okay, fishtail indeed. One more turn. I'm supposed to come to a complete stop here. Don't know if I will. I probably should. Actually, I don't think I should. Right. Well, folks, I'd say we've just about done it. Have a great day and be safe out there.